Yeah.
With a message for my people.
Nick Dad, baby. We the new label.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, son.
Now this the black sheep, sticking it to him. I need a crib like I'm Gatsby.
I need it.
In hand, just understand my
Pockets that deep.
with nothing to prove. I ain't got nothing to do. When they can't compete and I got nothing to lose. You see, they told me I'm the one that's gonna benefit.
Yes.
There we go.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Legend Awards Year in Review.
Very special
For
episode.
those that are new to the program, because we've gotten a lot of listeners in 2023. It's 2024, so I fucked that up. So we got a lot of listeners in 2024.
You're looking at the 2023 notes.
I am, yeah, because we're going to start off with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, all things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. I'm your host, Nick Deus. At Nick Deus 10 you can find me. All things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. Listen, I have said, bro, I can't put tweets together. So reading is like not my thing that much.
I get
Or
you.
at all. I have a 5-sentence capacity when I get a text. After that, I'll get to it later. I never get to it. So I am reading the 2023 Legend Awards because I wanted to kind of touch on some of those, see what's changed in a year, see where our predictions went, and then also just to have a little fun with it.
Yeah.
Joining me always is this guy's looking sharp. Don't leave your girl around George.
Yeah.
Play it for real.
It's the truth. I've gotten eyes all day long. You know, I just been wearing this around the house, Nick, because that's how important the Legend Awards are. I wanted to stay in the suit mentality, suit ready all day. So I've just been I've been getting the eyeballs, dude. I've been getting the eyeballs all throughout the casino here, and I could do some dangerous things after
Nice.
leaving the show today.
Oh, yeah.
I might like Irish exit you and just, you know, where's George? Hit you up the next day.
Okay.
You know?
I'm with it. I'm cool.
All right.
Hey, I'm pro Irish exit.
Yeah.
I got a lot of feedback about it. Some
Mhm.
people called me a piece of shit. Some people agreed. They said that it's undefeated and it's good. By the way, we're wearing suits on this one.
Yes.
And the year off with a fucking bang because it's been a great year. It's been a really great year. Shout out to everyone listening to the show for real. You guys have done a lot. The sharing of the content, subscribing to wherever it is you are consuming the show, whether it's clips, whether it's TikTok, whether it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, everywhere you get your podcasts. We put up some really big numbers, hit a couple of landmarks. I wanted to get to 25,000 subscribers on YouTube, and we got to that. We're at like 27.9K right now. George, you know how I feel when I see the K. Kind of gets me a little stimulated. I get
K.
excited.
Kilos. And you like going to Colombia?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, whatever works.
Yes.
Whatever works. Yeah, yo, for real. Shout out to all of you guys. The support has been great. Shout out to George. Full year doing the show with you. It's been awesome.
Shout out to you leading the fucking ship, Captain. How about that? You've definitely done your part this year in helping get the show aligned with what a lot of, you know, after doing it for so long, you know, you had to delegate, and you got to a point where I think we trust each other enough. And once that happened, dude, that's when things truly started to, I feel like, culminate and take off. And it's all due to you. Like you gave me an opportunity. I was blessed for the opportunity. And I know you tell me a lot, like that you appreciate what I do, but I appreciate you tremendously, dude. And I think everybody who listens to the show in the Discord, in the Patreon, like they share that same sentiment. So boom. Legend of the year in the good way, not the way we're going to describe later. Nick Days.
Let's go. I'm
Yeah.
glad that you had to. You know, for those that don't know, I was trying to. First of all, I really appreciate that. You know how I feel about you and everything you've done for the show. And yeah, man, it's been great. It's been great. Delegating was a word I didn't know existed about 9 months ago. And I was able to pick that up. 2024 word of the year for me: delegate.
Yes.
And it's done a lot. So when we say the word legend here on Veterans Minimum, or anyone that is around my inner circle, or if you're around me, it's not a good thing. If we call you a legend, basically you're a moron, you're an idiot, you're a lot of other things that we can't repeat due to our political climate in 2024 as we go into 2025. But all of that stuff, we'll leave it open for interpretation for you guys. It's not a good thing. So when you do call someone a legend, you gotta be like the good kind. And then you're like, all right, cool. So like you did before, like a good kind.
Yeah.
And then you have legends like last year, my legend of the year was James Harden. Very apropos.
Yes.
Do you want to start with legend of the year since we're on this topic right now? This is the main event. This is like leading with trust
Damn,
me.
dude.
This is like getting the marquee on the pay-per-view for UFC in the first match.
Okay.
I'm going to go first.
Go.
I think you're going to love this one.
Legend of the year for Nick is
Aaron Rodgers.
Wow. I love that choice. Such a good choice. We've been talking about him so much. He could have won a lot of awards, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
There's a couple of spots where he fits in, but legend is probably the best one.
I mean, bro, like, where do you want to start, right? Where do you want to start? It's been an unbelievable year for him in the worst kind of context. Everyone's been fired with the Jets because of him and his play. Even though last week I was saying, if you look at his numbers, he actually hasn't been playing that bad. And on the surface, if you're going to tell Jet fans that, a 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers coming off a torn Achilles, at the time that we're recording, full disclosure, this is prior to week 16, 23 touchdowns, 8 interceptions on the year. You'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. We're what are we? Are we 10-4? Are we 10-5? You're not. You lost a lot of games by one score. A lot of just mistakes by special teams or coaches, and Aaron Rodgers wasn't really playing that well. He gets his buddy to come over, Devontae Adams, and it took them like 5 weeks to really, really get going. Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson, I'm sure they'll probably get 1,000 yards each by the end of the year. Maybe not Breece Hall, but fuck. Breece Hall was like the number 2 pick in fantasy. He could have been legend of the year also.
Yeah.
And then Garrett Wilson, I was very high on. I like to pat myself on the back for being high on Josh Allen and Barkley and Jamar Chase this year. But also, I thought Garrett Wilson could have the CeeDee Lamb year from last year. And that didn't turn out to be the case. He got Saleh fired. The GM got fired. The team isn't performing well. The expectations were so high that I fucking made them my Super Bowl winner. So I'm a legend for that call too. And just a lot of the way he's handling the media and not taking blame for some of his actions and his performance. For a guy that's won all these MVPs, and he was a guy that used to be, remember Relax?
Yeah.
He's like, relax. RELAX, relax. And then they won like 9 games in a row. Like, he had those sound bites, and he tried to bring him back this year too.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't work. It didn't work. So for me, Aaron Rodgers, for all that he went through this year, even some of his podcast appearances were kind of wacky. And then also like the main thing.
Yeah,
I was saying this to be funny on the preview show, and then the summer leading up to it, I was like, I need like a Joe Rogan podcast appearance by him. I need him to say some like wild conspiracy thing, because then we're back. And hindsight is 2020. He didn't have those moments, bro. And I feel like that should have been the cue to be full fade on Gang Green.
Yeah, he was too busy filming that Netflix series that's now out, Aaron Rodgers Enigma. So he's profited a crazy amount off of he's doing what Tom Brady was trying to do. Like, how people were always saying TB12 and, Brady's, he's his own type of animal who I guess craves attention in a different way. Aaron Rodgers is doing it in like the full on grunt force style, Pat McAfee, Netflix series, and to not have a good winning year. It's the perfect storm, dude. And this week, if you are, when will this episode release?
Day after Christmas.
Day after Christmas. So they just got demolished this past Sunday. So yeah, he's a legend. He's a legend, bro. The whole Devontae connection.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Who do you got?
Legend of the year for George is Tariq Stevenson of the Bears.
Altered a franchise's season.
100%.
Go ahead, explain.
Big time, prime time matchup between Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. Two teams that at the time were still in that, are they going to be battling for a playoff spot? I believe it was week 7. And it comes down to Jaden Daniels, Hail Mary, and Tariq Stevenson, as the play is happening, is waving to the crowd. He then rolls out, does his assignment, which is to try to cover the bottom half of the Hail Mary, and he tips the ball up to the opponent. The Commanders win. The Bears then go on a historic losing streak. They do something that they've never done in franchise history, which is fire their head coach in the middle of the season. And it was all stemmed from this play. That season that the Bears team was having leading up to that was a complete 180 from where they currently are right now. And that was all due to the one player that wanted to showboat, tip the ball up in the air, and cause a Hail Mary. Hail Mary, it says it in the name, Nick. They're praying. And that's karma swiftly in action there, telling them, you don't fuck around on Hail Marys. It's the truth.
Yeah, you don't.
You fuck around on Hail Marys, you'll get struck dead. Or you'll be called Legend of the Year and cause the Bears their coach. I mean, it was going to happen anyways, but not in the middle of the season.
Yeah, no, not like that. Especially anytime you say first time in franchise history.
Yeah.
You know you're down bad.
It's not good.
Yeah, that was a rough one, man. And yeah, I always think of The Last Dance documentary when Jordan is with the baseball bat in the locker room and he got the cigar and he's like, it's easy to talk shit when you up. He's like, let me see when you down and you talk shit. He's like, that's the signs of a real man. I felt like he was talking about me because I don't stop yapping ever. Like, I'm always fucking talking mad shit. I'll get submitted and you just tell me, man, you ain't shit, pussy. Like, I'm going crazy all the time. I just like talking shit. It could be a New York thing. But yeah, to your point, I feel you, man. Like, you're showboating because you're blowing kisses to the fans and waving them goodbye, and then you give up that. Like, if I was a GM, cut immediately.
How could you not have some sort of either monetary action taken against you or suspension? Like, that's fucked, dude. And it really, people won't understand like how different the Bears season was before that, because since the Bears have been bad since the dawn of time, I believe at the time they had a 4-2 record, and it was the battle of which franchise won the rookie quarterback battle. And that throw right there, similar to the Anthony Richardson throw from earlier this year, is Jaden Daniels' golden ticket.
Yeah.
If you have a Hail Mary highlight, bro, in that fashion, yeah, that's going to get you signed.
Yeah, that basically was his, you know how we say the Heisman moment? That was his Rookie of the Year moment. They'll be showing that all the time now against the guy that went number 1 and he went number 2. So yeah, to your point, it was a crazy play. Can I read you some of the ones we got from Discord?
Yeah.
Jordan says Jonte Porter.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I think we didn't choose him because we like shit on him just this very last episode.
Yeah. That and also he'll be coming up in just a little bit.
True.
It'll be popping up. We got someone agreed with me with Aaron Rodgers. Another person said Arsenal. It's a soccer thing. They were first in the Premier League, and then they, typical Arsenal fashion, just started to collapse as always. And then someone actually had Matt Eberflus.
Wow.
Legend of the Year. So that was a good one too.
Yeah, because the Hard Knocks, it's a curse for.
Yeah, I mean, I got Brian Dable, I got Daniel Jones, I got the New York Giants, I got Joe Schoen, I got a couple of Joe Schoen. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it for fucking reminding me. I also agree with that same sentiment with everyone. Event of the year.
There was a few that you could put in this spot.
Yeah.
I'll go with mine first.
Okay.
It's the thing that almost shut Netflix down. Mike
Oh,
Tyson
I
versus
like this.
Jake Paul was the event of the year. I really do think, I mean, we got fleeced as an audience. That's an all-time fleece job. Seeing Mike Tyson out there just struggle to get through the fight was terrible. But the lead up to this fight was unlike anything I've ever heard. It really melded together the old heads, the young heads. I get to finally see with my own two eyes if Mike Tyson's really him. And he still is. Like, if that was me in the ring, Mike Tyson would have fucking annihilated me.
Yeah.
He would have annihilated a lot of people.
Sure. No, for sure.
It's
You know what upset me?
okay.
Bro, he's my dad's age. And I know my dad isn't Mike Tyson.
Yep.
And I totally
Yep.
understand. But also, he's a 58-year-old man, bro.
Of course.
So, like,
Of
that's,
course.
that's why I ended up betting on Jake Paul to win.
Yeah.
Because that's what
That's
was going to
the-
happen.
The logical thing to do.
30-year age difference.
No, I know, but it was a spectacle
For
in the
sure,
sense
without
that,
a doubt.
and the way that they pitched it and promoted it got so much money thrown on Mike Tyson that it's unreal.
Yeah.
There'll be another casino built here in Vegas because of it. It was also the Mike Tyson slapping Jake Paul at the weigh-in. That was the big cherry on top. You need to be watching this. Did your Netflix end up working, or did you end up watching it some other way?
No, my Netflix, I had trouble at maybe the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, it was cool.
Any chance it happens at the Christmas Day game?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a fucking zoo. Because now you got to figure out how many people are going to watch that. Well, like, I don't know.
That's a holiday ick for me. It shouldn't be on Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you know, we were talking about at the beginning of the football season, there was a graphic that one of those Instagram pages put up. I think it's like Wealth or maybe Puberty is like those really popular pages. And it said that in order for you to watch every NFL game this year, it costs you about $1,000 in monthly subscriptions. It's crazy, bro.
Insane.
Bring back fucking cable, dude. Remember
Yeah.
we were cutting cable to save money? I kind of want cable back because I'd rather just pay $200 a month. Just fucking have everything.
Have 2,000 channels, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me that. Bring that shit back. Now for me to watch anything, I need a fucking login. And most of them, you can't even fucking account share anymore. God forbid we could have a good time. I got to pay $12 to watch the 2 episodes I want to watch of something.
Or just to watch, I mean, they've been coming out with hitters lately. Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, Aaron Rodgers,
Well,
Enigma.
that's the thing, right? Like they got to space it out, or they'll buy a catalog of a popular show. Like they had Friends on there.
Yeah.
A lot of people love Friends. Breaking Bad. I just recently rewatched that.
When they got rid of The Office, it was over for me on Netflix. But I also, that show got burnt out. Anyways, event of the year was Mike Tyson, Jake Paul for me.
Okay. I'm going to stay in the combat sports world. I'm going to go UFC 300.
Nice card.
Fucking banger of a card. The Max Holloway knockout for the BMF title. You had Alex Pereira.
Yeah.
Who, shit, he might win Athlete of the Year later when we get to that. But just the fact that it was built up to be like the best card top to bottom. Cody Garbrandt is a former UFC champion. He was the first fight on the card. Like the whole card. Not pay-per-view card, like the whole card against Figueiredo.
Yep.
It was an awesome betting card for me too. Personal highlight. Bet Max Holloway 40-1 to win in round 5, and he got the knockout with 1 second.
Yeah. Trust me, I remember that one.
Yeah.
That was a rough one for me. I was actually watching it with Jory, and I had Fight to Go the Distance.
That's right.
Yeah. Because that's my favorite.
Your favorite bet is the last 3 fights to go to distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. It wouldn't have won anyways, but that was just a tragic way to have the night go.
When it goes like that, you know, and on the flip side, me, because I had bet, I made a lot of money on that fight in particular. That was the most money I ever had on a UFC fight. I remember being so convinced that Max was going to win. And when they're going into that exchange, I'm like, oh my God, bro, he's minus 1,800 going into this round. Like, why is he what if he gets clipped? Ah! Then I just start flipping out. So it's funny to like, well, not funny for you because you lost, but like,
No, trust me. I still, that's like,
that like 11 seconds is a crazy rush. That this is why I sound like an addict and I'm a degenerate, because like that rush right there, where if you're on the Gaethje side, you're saying to yourself, bro, I might have a chance here if he could connect. And then on the flip side, I'm panicking like, why the fuck is he even exchanging there? And then bam, when he hits it, it's fucking pandemonium.
oh, I
They're
lost
hanging
it.
from the rafters, going crazy.
Yeah. Everybody in America definitely popped the roof off. It was, that will be one of UFC's greatest knockouts ever. I think that one has cemented itself as number one now.
Yeah, bro.
Without a doubt.
I mean, like, so many banger fights on that. Wei Li won the title again. Shit, I had her by submission. She fucking puts the girl to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
The round ends. The girl is out, and she shoves her off her to get up, and then the girl wakes up because like she was out, bro, limp arm and all that.
I do.
It was like she was just better off just when she choked her to just lay there and have the ref move her. And then I would have cashed my plus 800 Wei Li by submission. I had a subathon, and that was the one I missed on.
Oh my God.
Yep.
In-person subathon.
No, I didn't go to this event.
Oh yeah.
I didn't go to this event, but I went to like 3 UFC pay-per-views this year. My favorite sporting event in person. Like, I don't think anything beats the UFC. So yeah, man, UFC 300. Pereira beat Jamal Hill, with the left hook. Like, just a really fun card.
After
really,
some potential fuckery, the low blow.
well, I mean that's the thing. Like it. I don't know. I don't think so. Like, when you get hit low, the referee, like, you could wave the ref off.
Yeah.
And that's what he did. Like, don't put your guard down.
And now they're going at each other behind the scenes, allegedly.
Allegedly.
You don't believe those UFC videos?
No, I do. I'm just not the biggest fan of Hill. I kind of think he's cringe. A little cringy. And like, bro, when you lose like that, I just feel like you gotta just take your L and move on.
Yeah. But you also said earlier.
I know, yeah. I was just thinking that
like,
as I said that.
Yeah.
I do like it when you're yapping. I do like it also.
I think it's like a 50-50. When it's going good, we love it.
Yeah. When it's going bad, yeah.
Go win a fight.
Let me read you a couple that I have from the members of the Discord. What they picked for event of the year.
Should be fun.
The Olympics. Nope.
Wah.
Nope. Not an Olympics guy.
Yep.
The Olympics again. We got March Madness. The Super Bowl going into overtime. And Copa America. Okay, I could dig that. Little soccer.
Yeah.
Little soccer. That'll, you know what? Perfect segue. Team of the year.
Do you want me to start with mine? You're
Uh,
actually kind of wearing the colors of my team of the year.
yeah?
Yeah, you are.
Damn, bro. What team is that?
That is the University of Connecticut
Whoa.
men's basketball team winning back-to-back national titles. The run that they went on in March Madness was ridiculous. Not only did they cover the spread in all those games, but they were just a team that didn't leave any doubt from start to finish. They were the top dogs to start the year. And then by the end of the year, bro, they were winning all those tournament games by 15, 20 points. And so, yeah, that team is the team that right now, if you can find some pretty good odds on them to win the title, they did have a rocky start. That would be an appealing bet. Only one other team's ever won 3 titles in a row. John Wooden won 7. So I don't think they'll ever get to that level. I don't think anybody will ever get to that level, but Dan Hurley's definitely got the boys playing basketball the right way. He did this last year. They won back-to-back national titles. First time it was done since my Florida with Joakim Noah and shit, bro. Who else is on that team?
Shit, Al Horford, Corey Brewer.
It's been a while.
Lee Humphreys. Remember I was talking about the random white dude that hits threes?
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
So, yeah, UConn men's basketball. If you followed me at all during that time, I was high on the NC State Wolfpack. I had them at 16-1 to win the title at the beginning of the tournament. And yeah, seeing UConn do what they were doing on the other side of the bracket let me know that it was fucking pipe dreams. Team of the year, UConn men's basketball. What about you?
I fuck with it, man. Not only did they cover every game against the spread in the March Madness, they did it back-to-back years. So imagine if you just bet 2 years ago on the first game, $100, and then rolled it over. Sheesh.
I think I saw an article that did it for this year. It would have been somewhere around, I think, 650, something like that. All that being said, they also set a Big East record. They won 18 Big East games consecutively. First time that that's ever been done. And the Big East is a basketball conference. So yeah, that's my team of the year. Yeah. Ask me to name one of the players.
Can't.
But when they do what they did, bro, you win team of the year.
For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Who do you got?
I'm going with the Spanish national team in soccer. I'm very salty about this pick because everyone knows I had England to win the Euro Cup. They made it to the final and they lost. But what's cool about this Spain team, I remember when they beat Germany in the quarterfinals. I was telling a lot of my friends back home, and I'm pretty sure I put it in the Discord also, but I was like, yo, one of the reasons why I hope they lose is because they're 12-1 to win the World Cup. Like, you could bet the World Cup from now. World Cup is in 18 months, and it's here in the U.S. You could bet it now, and they're 12-1. I'm like, bro, they're winning the World Cup because this Spain team was so young, and the narrative on them was, it's too early for them. Like, the players are way too young. Like, they got the kid, Yamal.
Yeah, that was the one.
He's 17 years old, right? And, like, dude, he was probably the best player in the tournament, which was crazy. But you look at a lot of those guys, really young core, and they hadn't really played together as much. Where, like, this iteration of Spain 10 years ago, it was basically just Barcelona and Real Madrid players. So all of them were playing together all year round for the most part.
Right.
So they just go in there, bro, and from the first game, just like Spain, prototypical Spain soccer, a lot of possession, but also had firepower going forward with like Nico Williams and Yamal. And like, bro, you look, they win the Euro Cup, and now they're the favorite for the World Cup at 5-1. So my thing was like, bro, this money I'm gonna win with England, I'm gonna put like $1,000 on Spain from now because like it'll hit my account. I'll be chilling.
Right.
Nope. They went in there and they took care of business. The right team won. You know, oftentimes I like asking this question whenever a champion gets crowned.
Mm-hmm.
Did the right team win? And I felt like for the Euro Cup, college basketball, maybe not NFL. But like the Celtics, right? Like the right teams win. Dodgers. Yeah. It's never like sometimes, bro, when the Giants won the Super Bowls, they weren't the right team. They weren't. And
it's true.
It happens often. Shit, I would even say when the Chiefs beat the Eagles, the right team didn't win the Super Bowl. So with Spain, they won it and it was the right team. So yeah, that's my team of the year.
Are you going to go to any Spain games?
Well, I'm definitely going to go to
World
games
Cup?
when it comes here in the States for sure.
Yeah.
Like I think we were talking about it a while back. I don't know what the topic was, but I'm going to use that as an excuse to go to cities I would probably never go to. Like Cincinnati.
Yep.
Unless, our boy Junior is the left tackle for the Bengals, then we going.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, I wouldn't go to Cincinnati or to fucking Missouri. I'll go like, oh shit, Brazil's playing?
There's definitely going to be no games in Missouri.
Nah, well, they have a MLS team. So I'm pretty sure they might. They might be able to. World Cup schedule.
The World Cup, it needs way more stadiums than I ever would think. How many stadiums do you need to run a World Cup?
You don't need too many, bro.
We're just doing the most. We're sending them everywhere.
Yo, so look, I'll tell you the sites of the World Cup, right?
Okay.
Remember, it's considered the North America World Cup because it's in Canada and Mexico also, but like 60 of the 82 games are happening in the States. So it's the U.S. World Cup. No disrespect to our neighbors up north and down south. L.A., San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver, Dallas, Guadalajara, Houston, Kansas City. There's your Missouri. Mexico City, Monterey, Atlanta, Boston, Miami, New York, New Jersey, Philly, and Toronto. Those are your host cities for the World Cup in 2026.
Summer.
So, all right. You don't have Cincinnati, but Missouri, one of the. So, like, I don't have any intentions of going to Kansas City ever, but maybe if, like, England is a game, I'd be like, and it's a Saturday, why not take a trip? That's what I'm saying. It's going to be dope. So, yeah. Team of the year for me, the Spanish national team.
Congratulations, Jamal.
Yeah.
You're incredible. I actually just cut a clip today for a client, and one of his highlights was in it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, bro.
He was playing at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and it was a dude who does security for all that. He's like, MLS, and I'm like, fucking Jamal, bro. Highlight. There we go. Yeah. Oh, where do we want? What did the people decide?
Oh, yeah, the people. Shout out to the people.
Shout out to the people. Team
of the year, Boston Celtics, Real Madrid, UConn men's basketball.
Okay, no, I think you did go through it. I'm tripping.
Someone said Giants, but they're trolling.
Come on now, people.
Dick move. Okay, let's go to sport of the year.
Ooh. I know we shit on breakdancing or on the Olympics earlier. I just spoiled it. It's breakdancing, bro. Fuck. Sport of the year for George is breakdancing. I don't give a damn that it's a troll award. They deserve it. Nobody knew that breakdancing was a sport until the little kangaroo lady. And then it literally became what 2024's highlight reel will encapsulate. There will be an image of her that will be imprinted in everybody's head from this year. And I know we shit on the Olympics, but the people that did do breakdancing at a high level, it is pretty wild. I still think it's very objective. I hate objective score type of things. I would rather know if I did it correctly, I win. If I didn't do it correctly, I lose. And that's not how breakdancing operates. But now we all know, at least a little bit. And it's not going to be in the Olympics ever again. So I have to do what is right for the sport of breakdancing while it is here and its 1 year infancy. You have won sport of the year. Congratulations.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Talk about thinking outside the box for this one.
I did, man. People were shitting on it. Is it a sport? No, not only is it a sport, it was the highest selling costume this past year. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, for sure. Fuck, the culture definitely embraced that if that's the case. Sport of the year for me. I know it's not a sport, it's a league or a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
It's the UFC.
I mean, how can it not be? All those cards. How many cards this year? Actually?
Most
I could look it up for you while you go on.
Yeah, I think 40 weekends, but if you think about no Conor fight again, UFC's most profitable year ever. Just like 2023 did, just like 2022 did. And again, you didn't have Conor. There's no more Ronda Rousey. There's no Brock Lesnar. All these people that you thought were the reasons why people were tuning into the sport, it's not really the case anymore. They do a great job of the promo packages for fighters. They make every fighter feel like they're the main eventer.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I went to a couple of Contender Series fights, and I'm like, holy shit, I fucking love this fighter. And then I look, and they're plus 600. I'm like, oh, he's probably going to get smoked. And he did, right? And then on the flip side, I went to Road to the UFC, and it was all the Asian fighters. They had the card in Macau, and like she went viral. The fighter's like 5'1". She's a doctor. Her family doesn't know that she fights. I got to look up her name, but she like head kicked this girl, and they took her out in a stretcher.
No shit.
Yeah, and like just the way they portrayed it, like it made it very sentimental. Where it's like, yo, her parents don't even know that she fights. She just fucking mauled this girl.
And
she's a
5'1".
doctor, and she's like 5'2". That's crazy,
nuts.
right? But the UFC year over year, I still think the sport is in its infancy. People love fighting.
Yes.
People love fighting. You could go to the Super Bowl, sit at the 50-yard line. If 3 idiots behind you start jawing back and forth at each other, and they start throwing down, even if it's the game-winning drive, you're gonna be like, yo, look at these idiots. Look at these legends, right?
Yep.
To keep the lingo going.
Yep.
So there's something about fighting. You don't see it in any other sport. It's the biggest sport promotion in the world. And like I said, I know it's not the sport of the year, but I'm saying the UFC because they got a new megastar in Alex Pereira. I mentioned him for UFC 300. He was the headliner as my event of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the new stars that they have, like Chimaev. You got the international flavor with the Brazilian champions like Pantoja. You got Duplessis, South African.
Topuria.
You got Topuria now, Spain and Georgia. You got Marab, Georgia. You have all these personalities, and you're like, yo, the sport is going to be fine, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Conor or no Conor. Like, we're going to be good. And for me, it was easily the sport of the year. Dana White, like, he's one of the people I would love to talk to one day, bro, because, like, the level of I don't give a fuck that he has, it's like my favorite thing in people. When people really don't, because you know there's a lot of people who be like, I don't give a fuck what people think.
Yeah.
And deep down, you know that they do. They're just saying it to look cool. Like, you don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And it's like aspiring.
Because a lot of people in his position have what would be considered like a crisis management group that controls how he speaks to the media and how he's portrayed. That I'm almost positive doesn't exist. If he knows anything, his best friend, who's always with him, who I forgot his name, would definitely let him know. And that's about it. He would be like, hey, yo, you're trending right now. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And he's honestly, the thing I love the most about the UFC is you can still put on cards, bro. It's nuts. I'm always baffled at how many fighters there really are. Like, the opportunities are endless. It's like if you had AAA baseball and AA baseball also playing in the major leagues all at the same time. And it's very, entertaining to be able to see the young talent like that, because there's so many people that you didn't even list that aren't superstars that are creeping their way up, and they've made headways in all these different cards.
Oh, bro, I mean, one of the fucking most gangster moments of 2024 was Dan Ige. I was at the card, was not scheduled to fight, and 3 or 4 hours before, he takes a fight against Diego Lopez, catchweight fight, lives in Vegas. He's like, yeah, fuck it, I'll get on there. And put on a hell of a performance, all things considered. It went the distance. He kind of won the last round.
Mm-hmm.
Not kind of, he did win and he leaves, and his stock is now through the roof too.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing about the UFC, it happens a lot. It happened to Khalil Roundtree. It happened to a guy like Dan Ige. It happens to fighters, Dustin Poirier against Islam. Like, fighters leave fights better than they came into them, even if they lose.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's a sport like that, bro.
It's very true. Yeah. It's something I got to make my way back to again this year. Any big cards that we should be thinking about heading into the new year that have been announced?
I mean, this first one in January is going to be epic. 2 title fights. Islam is fighting. Marab is fighting. Cousin Umar Nurmagomedov. And it's a banger card. It's in Anaheim, I think, or in LA, but it's definitely in California. And that's the first pay-per-view of the year in January. But bro, like the cards are always sick. The cards are always sick. And sometimes the cards that you have no expectation going into are the ones where there's like 9 of 11 fights have ended inside the distance. You're like, oh shit, dope. So yeah, hats off to the UFC on another stellar year. Where do you want to go next, bro?
They've probably won it a couple of times. We should maybe if we make it to next year, knock on wood. Nothing's guaranteed, Nick. That's why we got to give it our all today.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, we got to just keep track. Maybe UFC has won it 14 years in a row. Probably has in your head. But all right, where should we go next?
Want to go game?
Yeah.
What's your game of the year, bro?
Game of the year for me is simple. It's when the Arkansas Razorbacks defeated the number 4 Tennessee Volunteers in a shocking upset on ABC, Kirk Herbstreit, back when Ben the dog was still alive. Ben was on the field. My brother was one of the, very last games that Ben ever got to attend. Ben, honestly, the fact that he couldn't fit his animal of the year next year, I think we should add that in. We could do it this year, and animal of the year is Ben, if we wanted to. Back to the game of the year, though. Arkansas, unranked, nobody giving them a chance, fresh off of a loss against Texas A&M and Oklahoma State. Tennessee, who currently is preparing to play Ohio State this weekend for the college football playoff. Yep. So as we're listening to this right now, if Tennessee had won that, they play Oregon this upcoming week, and Arkansas could have been that one of the 2 teams to have defeated the national champion this year. It was an amazing game. Came down to the wire, Nick. The backup quarterback got thrown in the third quarter for Arkansas. He led them on 2 scoring drives, scoring the game-winning touchdown with a minute left, and the defense getting an all-time iconic stop, stormed the field, and they were the headline for the night. Arkansas takes down number 4 Tennessee. So yeah, game of the year is that.
Fuck, man. And you were there for that too, right?
I was.
Dude,
I
that's
was there for
so
that.
fucking cool, bro.
I was, yes.
I feel like shit, not even like, I mean, you swung me. Like, I remember I watched that game too. I watched that game because I remember you made it a big deal. You're like, bro, you got to watch this one. It's crazy. They're ranked. Hadn't beaten them in forever, right? Like, it was a couple years. That was the Anything's Possible video your brother did too? Yeah. Fuck, that was, It's always, your opinion is always skewed when it helps you, or in a betting standpoint.
For sure.
Or if like you experienced it firsthand. So I totally get it, man. For me, leads me to mine. I mean, this could be like I'm going to tie a couple things in here.
Okay.
Game of the year, day of the year, moment of the year in my personal life. When Brazil beat Paraguay 4-1.
What a day. I remember that.
What a day. Bro, I was drunk for 40 hours. Straight. I was hammered, bro.
Iconic run.
Like, I hit the Colombia 3-0, and I parlayed it with Brazil, Paraguay 4-1. And I just remember being shit-faced. Remember my boy Chris, shouts to Chris, Agent Chris. We were watching the games. We got blessed by Winfield Club. We got to sit over there. And like, bro, just crushing fucking, I was mixing IPAs, tequila on the rocks. And like, as the game is going, it's 3-0 at halftime, if I remember correctly. I'm waiting to get beers, and then it's 3-1. and then Brazil scores at like the 65th minute. It's 4-1. And bro, every 90 seconds I'm yelling, "Don't score!" Like loud, bro, loud. The Brazilian players, no exaggeration, dude. Yo, could we get a full shot here, Isaiah? If we could give us a full. Where we're at right now, like right in front of the studio, that's where like the players on Brazil were warming up.
So easily we're hearing.
They could fucking hear me when they were
For
about
sure.
to get subbed in, like 100%. And I'm yelling, "Yo, Rafinha," who plays for Barcelona. I'm like, "Don't score." Probably doesn't speak English.
Right.
I'm like, "Yo, don't score." Endrick, don't score. I'm yelling. I'm looking at the players. I'm like, "Savio, no mas, don't score." And bro, like every 90 seconds, dude, it'd get quiet. I'd yell, "Don't score!" Mad loud, bro. And then when the game ended, I got beer pouring on me. Like people that I didn't speak to the whole time. Eventually, they started catching on,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Bro, good shit, bro." We went right to Barry's, ate. The bill came. I told my boy, I was like, "Yo, we're splitting this." He's like, "Fuck you, we're not splitting nothing." Dude, I won $19,000 that day, man.
What a fucking hit.
Insane.
Of course that's game of the year.
Yeah, and then I mean, bro,
Games.
the next day I go to the pay-per-view, the UFC pay-per-view when Dan Ige does the thing. That was that card, and like, bro, I was drunk for fucking. That was Friday night. We went out to the club, which I don't really be going clubbing. We went to Live, bottles and shit. Just was reckless. It was crazy. People are looking at us like, "Who the fuck are these two dudes with like mad girls, just mad girls?" It was dope. It was a good time.
What a fucking.
Yeah, that's my game of the year. That's the game of the year.
That's a good game of the
It
year,
has to
bro.
be.
That's a.
The picture, Josh was at the game.
Yeah.
Shouts to Josh Williams.
You're like 2 beers. You're like,
and that's halftime. That was halftime.
yeah.
And I'm yelling. I'm like, "Yo, bro, I'm hammered. I can't hear you." I'm like, "Yo, I'm hammered." I put the phone in my pocket. He's still on the phone. I'm like, "Yo, I'm hammered, bro. I can't." It was crazy. It was lit. It was super lit. Shout out to Brazil. Shout out to Colombia. Always. And yeah, that was my game of the year, bro.
What did the people say was their game of the year?
One of them happened really recent. This was like the consensus. Bills Rams.
Wow.
A lot of Bills Rams.
Yeah, I remember texting you at that during that game, and I told you Josh Allen getting off to a slow start was actually good for us. And yeah, because I was hoping that by him coming back, that was going to be his, like, he is the MVP moment, even though now it's like for sure solidified. Knock on wood.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Let me ask
it was an amazing
Let me
game.
ask you something.
Yeah.
A little personal question.
Mhm.
You haven't been betting too long now, but what's the most money you've ever won in a single bet?
2,700.
Was that the future you put?
No, the future was less. It was only 1,200. 2,700 was when I made a $500 parlay on, like, it was over 3 sports. I was hitting a lot of bets, and I had just a crazy bankroll in my account, and I did a basketball game, a hockey game, and I believe a college basketball game. And then I hit the 2 basketball games, and I went to the hockey game in person and watched the goal go in to hit the over. And yeah, bro, I think it was 500, and it was a 4-legger because I took the Knights and the over. It was nuts.
It's good.
Collecting 2,700 is very nice.
Yeah. Collecting is always nice.
It's always nice. I'm just going to say that about every time that it gets bigger than that. That's very nice as well.
Yeah. Man, I've had a couple of crazy weekends. One I just told you about, the Brazil. When I came for Covington Masvidal card, it was UFC 272, I believe. This is before I moved to Vegas. I've told this story many times. Bro, no exaggeration. I hit every single UFC bet. I hit a 9, a 6, a 4, and a 4-leg parlay. I hit, like, at the time, you couldn't parlay props.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pissed. But, like, method and victory, round and victory, like, crazy, bro. It was unbelievable. We had 3 split decisions go our way.
Oh my God.
I haven't had a split decision go my way to save a parlay since. I was like, yo, we just sold our souls. Just know that. Just know that if we're going into a main event and a split decision is coming and that's the last leg of our parlay, we're not hitting it. And I can't recall me hitting a bet where the split decision went. That night, 3 of them went. And bro, truthfully,
Robbery.
I thought I lost all 3 of them.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, they give us a decision. I was like geeking out.
I know
about it.
that right there. That might be sneaky number one best bet feeling. When you know you got one over on them.
Yeah.
Like when you sneak it out, like, because I know we were talking about the max knockout earlier and you're like, oh my God, no. And then it hits.
Yeah.
But oh my God, I just got away with it. Oh, that's a
You feel
sly
like you're
way to
robbing
win.
them.
It's
You
a
feel like you're
sly way to win a
yeah,
bet.
yeah. Oh man. And then I've had a couple futures, bro. In 2016, I was playing daily fantasy. I won $42,000. DraftKings and FanDuel. I ran the same lineup twice. I'll never forget. It was the Falcons Saints game to end the year. At the time, the Falcons had clinched their seeding, and they weren't. Were they going to play anyone? Were they not going to play anyone? And then they ended up playing their whole roster. That was when I was introduced to Saints Falcons. Shouts to Alan Sturck.
Yep.
He covers the Falcons. He's like, bro, we're playing everyone because we fucking hate the Saints. I was like, really? And that's why you could gain a lot of game from fans of teams if they're
Correct.
subjective, right? If they're not always telling you, like a lot of Raider fans I know, they're like, yo, Super Bowl, bro. It's like probably going to go under 6.5 wins for a reason. But that's when I was introduced to that. So I've had some monster. That's how I got my second dog. Jazz
Was through a bet?
well, it was through that. I got her in 2016. After that, we went like, my parents and I went looking for just like shopping and shit for the holidays. And then we just went into this like pet store and bam, it just like locked eyes on me. It licked me. I'm like, yo, I'm taking it.
That's a baller move.
That was I felt pretty cool. Yeah.
Put the leash on it.
Yeah.
Put the leash on him, lady. That one.
I'm out. Yeah. I've also had some weekends where I've lost like $3,000-$4,000 too. Like I've blown through my whole bankroll. A bankroll that took me like 8 months to build up, all gone. So I always like to share that too, because everyone's like, oh my God, 40K and all that. Like those are fucking, I've been betting my whole life. This has happened 3 times. Those 3 weekends that it's happened. So it don't happen often.
But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
And you gotta be fucking shooting, bro. You gotta be shooting. I want to move on to storyline of the year. I have an awesome one.
Hit me.
But I
with-
want you to go first.
Oh, okay.
Suspense.
Okay. To me, it's as simple as this. It's another the first time this has ever been done. When Bronny James gets on the court with LeBron James and they play in the same game. That whole Bronny James storyline is what is so captivating about the Lakers season this year. Nobody's really given a shit about the team other than that one TikTok kid that's like just talks mad trash to D'Angelo Russell. The Lakers, they're going to have to figure out what the game plan necessarily is for Bronny moving forward. It was definitely just a LeBron nepotism play. Just goes to show, like, if you are really good at your job, you have that type of pool. I mean, you see that across all jobs. But with Bronny especially, bro, I mean, this kid literally was at USC 2 years ago and has the whole cardiac arrest, heart, disease type thing. He ends up having to recover from that. He has a mediocre year and then he gets drafted 55th overall. So that whole, time where people are saying, oh my God, the Lakers are setting themselves back. Is he actually legit? And for the moment to happen, it was very memorable. So to me, that was storyline of the year. Bronny James playing with his dad on the Lakers.
It's hard to disagree with you, bro. It was definitely like, again, anytime I hear first time ever, it's hard to beat that. But I found one. And this one was kind of like, no, I don't want to say personal because I don't know the guy, but I've always been a fan of his. And maybe my vision was a little skewed because I had a 40-1 ticket on the Mavericks to win the finals when I made this bet back in March of last year, of this past year, I should say. I fucking love the Kyrie Irving resurgence.
Yes. Untucked Kyrie.
Kyrie just fucking going crazy in the playoffs, finding a home in Dallas. I lived in New York City during the pandemic. There's a lot of people that still haven't recovered. I have a lot of friends that I've lost. They're still alive.
Yep.
But just mentally, we lost them, bro. We've lost them. I can't even say the C word because videos get demonetized. And I won't say the V word because videos get demonetized. But it was a crazy time in New York City.
Yep.
He didn't want to take either of those. Was only going to play away games. He's a piece of shit. He had the crazy tweet. Not agreeing with any of that. But just the way that was handled, and he's selfish and he's a lowlife. He's washed. That was being thrown around too. Then he goes to Dallas. Plays alongside Luka. He has competent head coach that he respects. The cool thing, I remember we talked about it once where Jason Kidd said, you got to know how to talk to players because you don't tell a player of that magnitude, like, this is what you should do. No, this is what I would do.
Yeah.
And if they respect you, they'll be like, oh, okay. Fucking Hall of Fame talent. He's won a championship. Probably knows what he's talking about. And then just like the love affair, everyone was now back on the Kyrie bandwagon.
Yep.
And I remember I put out a bunch of tweets and a bunch of posts like, yo, I can't forgive y'all for what you did to the man. Just slandered his name because he didn't want to take a shot or because he wanted to do things his own way. Like, what's wrong with that, bro? Like, you didn't want to take that time? Cool. I took it. Right? I have friends that didn't take it. I have friends that took it. Fuck with them both equally.
Yeah.
But it just got so polarizing. Again, like, there's so many memes of New York during the pandemic that friends in Vegas will send to me, George, and be like, yo, this really happened? I'm like, yeah, the fucking mayor was eating burgers and being like, you mean if I take this, I could have this delicious burger and fries? And you're like, oh my God, it's an SNL skit. No, this was happening live and uncut. So it was a crazy time during the pandemic, bro. And I just love Kyrie as a talent. I think he's one of the funnest players of ever, and especially for this generation.
Mm-hmm.
And I fuck with people that like had it all, lost it, and then got it back.
Yeah.
And that to me was Kyrie Irving in 2024.
It always makes me wonder if he ever really like lost it, bro. I just think it was always in him innately, but it just takes like a group to bring it back out of him. So he, I hate him still. I mean, I gave you that jersey to burn after
You jinxed me.
I did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. Piece of shit.
So, I mean, dude, it is what it is. It's just, you can't do the Celtics like that. I mean, it's a great storyline. Yes.
Well, yeah, you're also
Were
biased
we the part of the storyline that you skipped over because his storyline is so fucking so long, dude?
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like how it ended in Boston, how it ended in Brooklyn,
Yep.
how it ended with the Cavs, where like you wanted to leave and be the man, but then you realize it again with Dallas. Like, yo, I'm a really dope Robin, bro. Like I'm a top 5 to 10 Robin ever, probably. And you can't write history without Kyrie Irving. So I think the fact that he came back this year and the way he did, and the way he's matured also. There was a cool video someone asked him about when people do like fuck, marry, kill and shit. He's like, I'm not answering those, bro. Like, I'm in love with my wife. I'm like, I don't like answering questions like that. It's like, yo, he's about his business, he's about his morals, and I fuck with that. And I don't like when people get backed into a wall like that, man. Like, I'm never gonna come for someone's job like that, or like, you should never play here again, or nah, man. People got to fight their own demons and go through their own battles. Like, obviously there's levels to it, like we've said before, But something like that, bro. I just think it was quite the time in New York City. So yeah, for me, the Kyrie renaissance in 2024 was something to watch.
Storyline of the year.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Kyrie, man.
And basketball.
Yeah, basketball. 2 basketballs. Surprise of the year.
Okay. Surprise of the year. Do you want to start? You want me to start? This is a pretty big surprise.
Mine happened recently.
This one just happened recently as well.
I'll go first.
Okay.
Juan Soto going to the Mets.
That's a good one. That is shocking.
It is shocking, especially as a New Yorker, especially being the little brother in the arguments for years. The fact that they stole someone from the Yankees, bro, that don't happen ever. You know, George Steinbrenner is probably rolling over in his grave right now, being like, how the fuck did we let this guy go there, of all places? And I'm not going to say like it's a passing of the torch. No, because the Yankees were just in the World Series. But that was a shock, bro. And again, I'm not the biggest baseball fan, but I'm tapped in with like the Mets and just the culture of New York City and what that rivalry was always like. And anytime you would argue with a Yankee fan about anything, they'd be like, 27 rings, bro. All right, cool. It's really like 4.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
like how many of them were in the fucking pre-1970 when everything was in black and white television and guys were accountants and smoking cigarettes in the dugouts?
Yep.
Like, you know, I also like to troll people, be like, yeah, if it happened before 1991, I don't really count it, especially when it's in favor of my arguments.
Yeah.
And then they lose their mind. But Juan Soto, still like probably just entering his prime, honestly. He's 26, 27 years old. When this contract ends, I'll be 48.
That's nuts.
Which is wild. But I think that was a surprise, bro. Everyone thought he would maybe go to the Dodgers because like they fucking have a blank checkbook.
It never has made sense to me, Nick. Maybe they're just lying to these people. The contracts somehow, some way, the stipulation in 5 years, this contract is set to explode.
Yeah. And
Shohei's not getting shit.
What's been the best thing also? This is like a personal one too. You know I love to troll, right? But it's hilarious. Like 2 months ago, Yankee fans were like, build a statue. He hit that home run in the playoffs too that like cemented one of the series. And it's like, bro, fucking greatest Yankee moment ever. And now the same fans are posting compilations of him striking out to like the guy the Yankees just signed. And it's like, oh, so now you hate him because you lost him, right? It's like when you break up with someone, you start to shit on them. But when you were together, you was in love and you loved it.
Strikeout compilation is nuts.
It's hilarious, right?
That's so funny.
And that's how like down bad the Yankee fans were around about this. So Juan Soto going to the Mets, I think it's shocking as a lifelong New Yorker and being around that. And obviously the money that got thrown also, but just the fact that he left the Yankees to go to the Mets, like this shit don't happen, bro. Any time in history when 2 guys were being courted by the Mets and the Yankees, they always went to the pinstripes. And now they're coming to Queens. Shout out to Queens, baby. 718 boys.
If you were to put odds on that, what would you set those odds at that Juan Soto was going to end up on the Mets?
I'll say this. Ever since Steve Cohen got there, blank checks. I fuck with that.
So he's, okay, it's not like it would be
10 years ago, it'd be like, it's never happening. Like the
can't even put a line on it.
Bro, the Wilpons were known for being cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were just known for always being like they were in the Madoff scandal. Like they were looped in with Bernie Madoff. So like pretty cheap franchise.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The reason I asked you the odds though is because my surprise of the year had an odd to it.
Okay.
And it was 100-1 winner that just recently hit in the Arizona State Sun Devils. They were projected to be dead last in the Big 12. And 2 weeks ago, they win the Big 12 championship. They had not won a conference championship since 1996. They have a white running back.
Yes.
Cam Scatabo, bro. He is tough in NCAA. I bring Arizona State frequently. They're one of like if I'm not mistaken, they're a tier 5 team, which means they're like the worst in NCAA. So I've been on a mission to try to get a win with every single tier 5 team. When I played with Arizona State, bro, it was too easy. They were the ratings have been adjusted. The team is for sure legit. Cam Scatabo finished 5th in the Heisman Trophy race. Nobody expected this. This is the same conference that Coach Prime and Colorado is in. So they thought that, Colorado was going to possibly be there at the end, and they weren't. They ended up defeating Iowa State, which is always a weird team that does like steady 9 wins every year and in contention to go to the conference championship.
Isn't that where Brock Purdy's from?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm. He was a Cyclone.
Yeah. Brees Hall, too, I think.
They do produce, bro.
Yeah.
They produce some
It's like
solid
one of those
players.
schools that randomly just, like Rutgers, bro. Remember Rutgers in like the 2010s?
Yeah.
Just the Patriots would have like a 4th round safety. You're like, oh, this guy's going to be good from Rutgers. Greg Schiano and the boys.
It's close in proximity. They had good scouts up there. But yeah, bro, that's surprise of the year. I mean, nobody is expecting Arizona State to do anything in the college football playoff. But if by any chance you want to hit another 100 to 1 on them this year, I believe they're 100 to 1 right now to win the national title. And they got a first round bye. How crazy is that?
I mean, bro, if you just look at it, like I looked up biggest betting upsets of 2024. This is the first one that pops up.
100 to 1. It's like up in the history. I think this is a top 10 upset or, top 10 odds that have hit and like gambling history.
Yeah, I mean, look,
100 to 1.
So nothing's ever going to top this. Nothing's ever going to. It's Leicester City, the soccer team.
Yeah.
Won the Premier League in 2015. $10 would have won you 50,000.
I remember seeing
Insane. Then you got the Miracle on Ice. You got the 2011 St. Louis Cardinals. They were plus 99,000 because they were 4.5 games back of Atlanta for the last wild card spot with 15 games to go. And they won the World Series at 99 to 1 odds when the playoffs in September of 2011.
Jesus.
And then the Rams 300 to 1 is the biggest underdog to win a Super Bowl ever. This was the Kurt Warner year.
Mm-hmm.
The 04 Red Sox, if you had bet them when they were down 3-0 to the Yankees, were 120 to 1. And then your Sun Devils, bro, 100 to 1.
Yep.
That's your top 6 right there. Crazy. So yeah.
Huge. Next year, I'm going to be looking for this. Like, it's never going to happen again.
Oh, bro, it's never, like in Europe, they don't offer anything more than 1,000 to 1 odds anymore because of Leicester City.
Did the city like make a lot of books feel it?
I don't know. So in soccer, you know how teams get relegated?
Mm-hmm.
So if you finish bottom 3 in a league, you get sent down. They were favored. They were the favorite to get relegated.
Yeah.
And then they won the whole thing. And what's crazy about that is I've spoke to you about this before, how like it's so insane that it happened because you've seen teams in the past that are your non-traditional powers in soccer start off, the season starts middle of August and come Thanksgiving, you're like, fucking Brighton is in first? Or like Real Sociedad? Or some random ass Serie A team like Sampdoria is in first? You're like, what the fuck? And then at the end, you're like, oh, they finished 12th where they were supposed to.
Mm.
This one was like, oh, they're going to fall apart come Christmas. Oh, it's the break. They're going to fall. Oh, they're going to fall. And then, no, they just kept winning, bro. Kept winning and winning and winning. And it was nuts, man. It was nuts. You'll never, ever see anything happen like that. Biggest upset in professional sports ever. Like, by far. But it's cool to have something like this be mentioned in that, too.
Yeah.
Hell of a
Did we have any other surprises from the people?
I'll tell you right now. Surprise. Noah Lyles, Olympic reaction from the public. The backlash.
Okay.
The Bengals.
That actually is a really good one.
Yeah, we got the Niners. This surprise was trolling me. Surprise England, but not really. We never win, bro. Stop losing your money. Shout out to Mark from the UK. Yeah. So those are some of the surprises there. I think we're down to Athlete of the Year.
Yes. Because we started with the bang, dude.
Yeah.
We started with our legend.
Who you got?
Scotty Scheffler, congratulations. You have won Athlete of the Year. 9 wins on tour this year. He had just won his second major. Only 3 golfers since 1993 have won 7 or more events. So he's getting into that elite status when it comes to the golf world. And I would say the thing that really made me buy into making him Athlete of the Year is, Nick, when a sport goes out of their way to try to make you more likable and to be the face of the sport, that just goes to show you how fucking good you are doing. Because Scotty Scheffler was very boring. Like, possibly one of the most boring golfers that there is on tour. So how do you make a boring golfer cool? You arrest him and you make him have a mugshot. And that's exactly what they did with Scotty Scheffler. They arrested him on the Tuesday of a tournament, or on a Friday, so the second day of the tournament, in the morning, throw him in the cop car, take him, get a mugshot. Nick, he didn't not finish. Of course he finished. Like, he bailed himself out. He gets to the course, plays all right, finishes tied for 8th at the end of the weekend. For him to have to go through that and then to still win the major tournaments at the end of the year as well, like the PGA Championship and the FedEx Tour Championship, it's a run that we've only ever seen from Tiger Woods. Scotty Scheffler did what probably 1 to 2 other golfers will ever be able to do, in my opinion, and that's get arrested in the same day, come out and shoot. I think he shot 3 under that day after being arrested.
That's so fucking gangster, bro.
It is.
That's
it
so
is.
fucking gangster, bro.
And he does it silently. And another thing I didn't throw in there, he won an Olympic gold medal on his putt. So, like, that's another crazy feeling. Scotty Scheffler had a hell of a year, bro. I think I didn't write it down. I believe it's anywhere from $60 to $70 million in revenue accrued from all those wins.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's a lot of parlays, bro.
That's not even including any of the sponsorships.
Sheesh.
That is all just winning the tournament.
Yeah, that's crazy. That golf money is out of control, bro.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
They fly in private jets. Have you ever seen the Full Swing on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
Just watch the first 10 minutes and you'll be like, oh yeah, they live a different life, bro. Like, complete just professionalism, G5s everywhere, exclusive practice facilities. It's pretty baller.
Bro, can I tell you this hilarious story? It has to do with golf.
Mm-hmm.
Back in 2017, when I used to do Veterans Minimum with the old guys I used to do my show with,
Mm-hmm.
we got brought into this company that wanted us to do a sports show on Twitch. And the whole time, they were like, we want it to be edgy. We want it to be brash. We want it to be you guys like on the podcast. And we went in there and we were like doing Q&A and we like planned these segments and whatnot. And one of the things that we had told them was like, yo, we're really good on the fly, like improv, because the way our show was constructed at first was like everyone was really strong at one thing. And then I had the betting input to carry me through like a hockey segment, or like a baseball segment.
Right.
Right. So we're over there, and they named this one topic. We start riffing, and I could see the guy. It was like an actual audition, right? So they had like a panel over there. There was like 6 of them, a couple women, and like assistants, and then like the 2 head guys. They bring up Tiger Woods, and this was when Tiger Woods was like on the decline, and this is when like he got exposed for like being a sex addict and shit, and all that stuff was going on. And they go, so what happened? What's happening with Tiger Woods, fellas? One person answers. The guy's like on his phone. Bro, I just go, it was better when he was a sex addict, bro. And he was just running through shit just like that. And he was just like, I was like, yo, is that edgy for you? I was like, yo, that's kind of disrespectful, bro. You're on your phone and all. Like, I called them out. They didn't bring us back. I think that was a big reason why. But like, I was also going to stay on my ground.
Yeah.
I ended up working with this company years later. And when I had the meeting with the guy, he didn't remember me. But I told him. And he was like, I actually like that. I was like, did you? Because we didn't end up getting the gig
We didn't get a second call.
We didn't get a second call. But, like, bro, if you wanted edgy and shit, like, yeah, do you want the all cleaned up? And this was 2017, bro. But I think I was right. Like, when Tiger was a sex addict, he was fucking crushing these masters.
I would know. I would know.
No, yeah. Hey, listen, what's understood don't got to be explained.
There was a lot of money made that year.
A lot of money.
There was so much money. Endless money.
Endless money.
Wow.
Endless money. My athlete of the year.
Athlete of the year.
Also made a shitload of money for her league.
Wow.
No one had a better year than Caitlin Clark.
I agree with you.
The only person that came close was my athlete of the year in 2023, Ohtani.
Wow, this is 2 really good
He did
candidates.
the 50-50. He won a World Series, won an MVP, was in a betting scandal and survived it. Jonte Porter, take some fucking notes, bro. Ohtani did it the right way.
Yeah, he was really fucking good.
It was really fucking good. But yo, it's easily Caitlin Clark. Let's not forget that her March Madness and her season started like what, 2 weeks later, it felt like?
Yeah.
Like almost immediately.
She got drafted less than a month after that, after her season ended. And then it was immediately into preseason.
I don't think it's a debate that it's not her. Like attendance through the roof. Highest attendance in 22 years. Best merchandise sales in league history.
Mm-hmm.
It was her rookie year. And I think the attention she's brought to the league, both positively and negatively, I think it's good attention either way. People are talking about it. It's led SportsCenter. That shit was never leading SportsCenter, bro.
Not only was it leading SportsCenter, but there was drama in women's college basketball.
Yeah.
And that's like the bigger thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the WNBA definitely got their profit, but the NCAA, oh my God.
Yeah. And bro, and listen, I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. This was fucking the Attitude Era personified. You had the classic babyface Caitlin Clark, and you had the heel villain Angel Reese. And that created storylines too. And shout out to Angel Reese also never backing down and being like, yo, don't forget about me. And then she would get trolled. Right or wrong, it's bringing attention to your league.
100%.
Yo, let's keep it in house with Vegas. You know that the Fever, the requests for the tickets were so high that they played one of the games against the Aces at T-Mobile.
Yes, I do remember seeing that. That wasn't happening before.
That's what I'm
been
saying.
here back-to-back champions.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen until she came over here. And I know there's a lot of like racial issues behind this conversation, and that's always been a hot button topic. But I think the way Caitlin Clark has handled this entire thing has been like fucking hats off to her.
Yeah.
And she's making a lot of people money. And look, the league was losing money for years. It's just what the numbers are telling you. And now it's starting to change. It's still lost money this year. However, it's like the first year where it's like, oh shit, we might have something.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on up. And I just think that the attention that she brought and the year that she had,
It's
the villain arc for her is going to be amazing as a wrestling fan. Like, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah.
It's already started to swing. The public perception has flipped.
Sure.
And it started to flip. Tell me if you think this is written into the storylines. Why wasn't our athlete of the year not on the Olympic women's basketball team? That's a textbook move if you are a storyline maker, and like having her now, it's if she goes crazy, she's vindicated.
Yeah.
She wasn't on the Olympic team. She doesn't want that to happen again.
Yeah.
I think this is also a prime example for Travis Hunter, that like she became like a celebrity the same way that Travis, after this Heisman, has become, and this whole girlfriend thing, a whole nother celebrity. And then you're going to go into the NFL, Travis, and you're going to have to deal with all the other storylines that are written about you, and you have to carry a franchise. She was carrying the weight of an entire sport, and that's different. But yeah, she paved the way, bro.
Yeah.
She paved the way for a lot of people.
Yo, there's a difference between a movement and a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think she had both.
Yep.
She had her moment, and now she's spearheading women's basketball being a expensive ticket in comparison to what it once was, and a hot button conversation, and people are excited. Like, bro, I'll be honest with you, dude. I love watching women's soccer, like the women's national team when they play, because I love dominance, and we just fucking beat the shit out of people. The last couple World Cups has been rough because every other country has caught up to us, because the U.S. was the first country to really put money behind women athletics, and they would just like dominate people. And now what you're seeing is the other countries are starting to catch up. But I always would watch the Olympic soccer, World Cup soccer, women's fights. I never watched basketball. I was watching. Even bro, the NBA, the WNBA finals.
Yep.
Minnesota and New York. I was watching it here, chilling. Like, actually, like, I was like, yo, let me get to the studio early so I can watch.
Well, those games came down to the wire. There was a couple of great buzzer beaters
in
in this past series.
So, and a lot of that is because of the attention and the aura that she brought to the sport. So, for me, I think it's easily her, bro.
I agree with you. I had to pick Scotty just because I didn't want to also say Caitlin, but if there was any award that we've given out tonight that I was like, this is 100% no doubt, it's that one.
Yeah. Let's wrap with this, bro.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite moment this year? Give me a show moment, and then give me like a personal moment.
Show moment has got to be Ross giving us poker chips.
Yeah.
And saying, gentlemen, I have a game for you.
Yep.
And then left or right and
pick a fist.
Yeah, bro. Pick a fist.
I have to make sure the guys in there aren't fucking snoozing.
And then I had to like fucking, I didn't have to. I should rephrase that. I wanted to take him home to his hotel because it was literally less than a mile away, but it was race week and they had all the cones set up. So I was like, fuck. But yeah, that was my favorite moment of the year.
That was cool. He became top 3 guest of all time. Because like I said, the bar has changed. Bottles of wine and liquor is cool, merch is cool, but you come and give us money. Oh, and he joined the Patreon. Shout out to Ross's boss, man. Continuing to support the show and to constantly putting up the clips as well. Mine had to be Stephen A, bro. Getting a chance to interview Stephen A. Smith was fucking. That's top one, man. That's top one. Cause like that's the industry standard. Like he's about to make the 20 million that I want to make one day. Like he's about to be making, and just to think that like, you know, to hear him say shit to me about, and this is on the record, like on the show, like, yo, you're ahead of where I was, cause you edit, you do producing, you're building something on your own. You're familiar with YouTube. You're in the social media era. Where like I'm still trying to figure out how to accept collab posts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So to hear that from him, and like that's the GOAT, bro. That's the GOAT. And now like if I see him out, he knows who I am, and his team knows who I am too. Jory got to experience it firsthand when he was here the other night with us. Like it's cool, man. It's cool. And like those are the people you want to be surrounded with.
Mm-hmm.
And like sometimes, bro, I have a big problem of like I hate sounding like a fucking Instagram quote, but like living in the now is a big issue I have because I'm constantly like 20 million, how do we get to 20 million? Like, all right, let's get more numbers, more this, more that. Like, I want to get my purple belt. I want to get to black belt, whatever it might be. It's like, damn, bro, we're doing a lot of cool shit. A lot of cool shit. We were fucking walking out yesterday and Michael Irvin called me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, George, isn't this fucking crazy? This is my life, like 4 times a week. Maurice Claret's, Cameron, and Mace every night. Like and I say all that because getting to see what it takes, like bro showed up an hour and a half before his recording time and just had mad paperwork on the desk. And they're like, yo, that's why he's the #1 programmer on sports talk television for a decade plus. Companies aren't just giving you 120 M's because you're nice. It's like, nah, man, you perform. And just being around it and being able to see it. Like, I like being around greatness, bro. No matter what it is. You could be a fucking sanitation worker to a fucking quarterback to entrepreneur. Like, if you're great, I'm a fan.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like, that's the top one.
It's definitely a sight to behold. The iPad in the middle, and he would be like standing. I remember a couple of times.
Yeah, you got to see it too, bro.
In the lobby and chopping it up with, I believe it was his mom, maybe his
sister.
Yeah, sister. Oh yeah. I remember mom, the iconic story.
Yeah,
which to this day, I think it's one of the like most empathetic, like soft and like the best way sounding Stephen A. Smith's a dude who's always so hard, was the way that he talked about his mom on your show, and the way that he would like, he said, I put my head on her belly and she just rubbed my head. And I was like,
Nick's gonna make him cry.
I'm like, bro, I'm like, damn, dude, Nick, you got this out of him? Like this, that was crazy to me. That
was dope, man. That's gonna be that was cool, and like it did a lot for the show. And you know how it is, man. In the content space, you get a guy like that, some fucking local beat writer now can't tell you no. Like they can't be like, yo, I don't have time for your show. Correct. And in a passive aggressive way, like being a piece of shit saying that. Like they might not have time because they're busy, but like if you have time, you'll make time. If I have that fucking guy on the show. You know what I'm saying? So like it was dope.
When Bobby Altoff had Drake on like episode 2.
Right.
It's like
she could have whoever she wants on the show, and then it led to her getting divorced. Unfortunately, yeah.
I mean,
city girls up.
That was minus 500 on certain markets, but
so man, once you get that fame, sometimes it's a different level of attention you get.
Yeah, that is true. Great show moment. Runner up would be Claret. Maybe the NFL preview show, getting to be in the new studio was like all time, you know, because we set up a lot higher, people. I know you probably don't know that based on the way that this looks, but I feel like this is as close to what ESPN is going to feel like as you'll be able to get.
Feel nice in the suit. We might have to start wearing suits, bro. Feel good.
I just got to get more like under shirts and V-necks.
No ties, though.
No ties.
I don't do ties.
Fuck a tie.
You get choked out on a tie, bro.
Too easy.
Can't do it. Not with that.
Nick.
2024. Hell of a year. Hell of a year. Thank you all for listening to this show, to every show. Continue to rate, review, subscribe, tag us, reshare the content. You guys are the best free promotion we could get. And it's the best kind of promotion too. Costs you nothing to share the show. It costs us nothing to ask you to do so also. For real, it goes a long way. Because the amount of shows that I've started watching or following because a friend of mine posted it or tagged it, it's pretty much how I consume all my content. So I kind of relay that message to people too. So thank you all for listening. At Nick Deus Tennis, you can find me. All things Veterans Minimum are at Veterans Minimum. When you listen to this show, there will be a NFL Fallout show for week 17. It's going to probably be audio only. So you'll be seeing a lot of these clips over the next couple of weeks. But we will have our usual shows. Got to coordinate with you. Just do some recap and keep that going. But yeah, man, I'm very happy, very grateful. I appreciate all the love and support from everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep showing your
See
love.
you guys soon. George, where can they find you?
At Mr. George Carmona is where you could find me. At Veterans Minimum, all things Veterans Minimum, Veterans Minimum, Veterans Minimum, to the moon in 2025.
Let's get it. We'll catch you guys
Peace.
in the new year.